Good morning, everybody. Jack Leeson with StartupTrading.com. ED is 9:20 here on the last day of the month. Time for October. I tell you what, it does not feel like October in Chicago. It is 80 degrees last weekend. It is 80 degrees this weekend. It is incredible how I feel like I live in California right now. Um, So yesterday we were opening up on the top side of both that 78% retracement that I had, as well as Perry had some options levels, that we thought could be resistance. But what was interesting is just the price action in the Nasdaq was quite different than the S&P. We were opening in an aggressive extension in the NQ. We came down and traded that right before the opened, and then we went straight up to targets, had a distribution at those targets, and then as soon as that distribution, ended from the point we hit targets, it was 9:45, and our last bar up there was about an hour later. It was an hour long, it's just sideways movement. We came all the way back down to that upper mid, that orange line, and I didn't. I don't think I took actually any trades in the Nasdaq yesterday, but what I did take is an ES short, just because the ES was actually, even though the ES was stronger on Friday, at least in the structure of it, it was the first market to kind of, it didn't trade to that extension target like the Nasdaq did, and we broke down. So one of the things I was looking for yesterday, and really what was my important level, has seemed to have traded here in the overnight session. And that is what was Friday's low to the high of Monday. Friday's low to the high of Monday. That level is 24,747. That was something I was looking for, and I will continue to look for. Now, I'm going to leave this 78% retracement above as our premium level. That is, once again, the 78% of the range. So the high of the range to the low of the range, that's that 78% retracement, as well as last Wednesday's high, just in a level that I would think we'd really need to clear above to get progress anywhere. Um, and if we're gonna come back in, we hold the overnight session low. This is something you'll see. We hold this halfway back on Friday, but we break the 61, then run to targets. Oftentimes, when you break 61s, then run to targets, the 50% retracement from that draw too high ends up being coming in as a bid. And you can actually see that at 3 o'clock yesterday, that's where buyers stepped in. So the more aggressive bid continuation, in which we would hold the overnight low, is going to be down here at 24,781 roughly. So that would be if bulls can hold this 24,781, that'll be your first sign that they still got a lot of strength here, and there really isn't any structure break for bulls on any of the time frames at this point in time. So I would not be surprised to see that happen. Now, if we can push up through uh, into this fair value gap and start running in above that 78% retracement. Maybe, I don't think today, but maybe later this week we'll be getting up towards that 25,000 level. So worst case scenario I see here today is maybe a move back to uh, Tuesday's low. We do have, you know, in from a momentum standpoint, where we were in that break with the momentum from Friday's action, or not Friday's action, what am I talking about? Monday's action is still short, and it is this extension from the 1055 low to low. So we traded that, and I will be. This is what I'll be watching for shorts. Is this 1055 low to low? We're going to be opening right now. We're at 24,820s, so we're opening like right below that. I don't really have a very strong bias between 24,860 to 24,780. I think it can kind of go either way, or maybe even back and forth. So those are just levels I'm going to watch at this point in time. If I go to the ES, That next measured move down here that I was hoping we'd get on the prior day, we did not get. There was a more aggressive move that did bid 66.94 quarter. 66.94 quarter is the overnight low. We'll see if we can come down and trade that level again, or if we have weakness. If we have weakness, I would expect us to get down to 66.78. So 66.94s, then 66.78s are going to be my levels below us, and then above us, we're going to watch the midpoints in both indexes. You got 67.16, 67.16, and then 67.28. Those are just my actionable levels at this point in time. We did hold a 50% retracement short at the end of the day. And you can see we've stayed below that, so continue to pay attention to that. But I think it's it seems to be like yesterday was you could have made money on both sides. In fact, I did take trades to both sides, and I think today is going to be somewhat of the same. I do not have a strong bias here, one way or the other, and it's just a matter of kind of waiting for the levels that I think are really going to react. And then moving on to gold and oil. Now, gold. This is interesting. I actually saw this morning, decided I'd leave it up. But yesterday in the morning trade plan in gold, I drew this halfway back long, and that was from the Sunday night open to the morning high in GC. And I was hoping we'd get down into the 38.22 area. 38.22 was the midpoint, and it was the halfway back. Now, as the market opened up overnight, we rallied up to some larger targets, and I'll go over what those are. And then we fell all the way back into that level. I woke up this morning, I had an alert go off on my phone for gold trading down into that level. That target actually never traded its pullback, so it's kind of irrelevant. There is this, and man, we might even be more aggressive. We will eventually trade this extension again, I think, from the 8th of August. But at this point in time, we are, that's what we just traded. The negative 100 of the 8th of August to the high of the 9th of September. The overnight high where we rejected from seems to have been the negative 100 of that draw. So that high from the 9th of September to high will be our support level here today. So I'm going to get rid of these other draws. And you can actually see that 38% retracement, very close within the midpoint. We got down there, spent about an hour going sideways, and we've rotated higher. I'm going to watch this 50% retracement from lows. Right now, that's a 38.35 for a continuation back to the upside. And then moving on to, we got about a minute to the open. Oil. Let's go to this daily chart. Right back again at the bottom of this range. We went top to bottom of the range really quick. So this range has really been right around that $62 level on the downside, maybe like 61.50 to 62, and then 66 bucks on the upside. But we went from 62 to 65 back to 62 here, and we seem to have put in a pretty decent bottoming pattern here. Fair value gap lower, double bottom, trend bar, trend bar. We're also trading long sequences here out of lows. We traded this first long sequence, aggressive front run, 2 targets, and then you had that next measured move here, and then that's kind of what we're in at this point in time. We definitely would want to see continued participation at these 50% retracements, but if this ends up, being a swing low, I would not be surprised to see us back at like a 63.60 here before the end of the day if we can really hold this low. So 6:30, or sorry, not 6:30, 9:30. It's probably 6:30 somewhere. Markets are open, indexes are open, so I'll switch on back to them. See what we're going to do here, but yeah, no strong bias in the indexes at this point in time. We got those support levels below us. You got this first level in the NQ, 24,780, 24,747. Scanning open. First sign of, it's not like one of these bars is flying one way or the other. We're just kind of opening up and calm waters so far. The 747 would be great. 24,747. We'll see where we're at 940. I'm just gonna let it chill these first 10 minutes, not to. I'm gonna have to walk away. Otherwise, I will probably take a trade. I got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden, baby. I'm gonna try that NQ. Yeah, goal. I mean, just because ES is not having any weakness. 24,780. Front run a bit. Meantime, I'm gonna. Yeah, so I placed an order here on this long, and then NQ. Not wouldn't be looking for a whole bunch. I don't think we're not in any structure where I'm like, oh, let me look for a 70-point target. I'm just gonna be kind of bumping around right now. Alrighty. Here we go. Hammer down. As soon as I left, you guys started selling. 74-point bar. I'm going to draw this. We've now completed that extension, technically. Let's see if we rally into the next measured move or keep dropping. You got that 47 below us. Almost got stopped out there. I'm actually going to add into this. Here we go. All right. Now I can 36. There's that lower level in the NQ. I just don't think we're gonna just break a liquidation here, but anything can happen. Gold is peaking. All right. That same anchor new low would give us a potential short. I mean, I'm going to use it as my long target. I'm using the 38 as my long target of the short. If we can get up there, I'll be looking to exit this trade. This should have been the 10 minutes I waited for, but I don't always listen to myself. I just come up with good ideas. Wait 10 minutes. No, don't wait 10 minutes. Nice, nice. All right, come on, Nasdaq. I mean, really a great reaction at lower level, at 24,747. That's that full halfway back from Friday. And I mean, we're either going to get all the way back up to 24,832s, or which I probably think is what's going to happen. 24,810 is first, and then 832 is above. I'm going to bring my orders up to 832 at this point, and then if we're not up there by 1010, I'll just take her off. Gold traded a more aggressive level than I anticipated. Need some caffeine. I'm tired. There we go. Move my stop up to 30 points. Anybody else get long down there? Also, divergence. No, ES did not take out yesterday's lows. Nasdaq did. So that's kind of like the confidence that I'm getting here. Nasdaq swept prior day low. ES held it. Yeah, it fucking does. Wild. Didn't even get all the way up to that 38, which would have been 2010. So I am going to move my order down there when we get back up. Oil peaking back higher after coming into that full 50% retracement long that I mentioned. We're breaking down in the NASDAQ, so that is going to have to prove its support. We could get all the way full halfway back. We didn't even get into the anticipated short that I had. I don't know. We don't hold here. I'm just gonna have to wait for that short. All right, Jolt's here in a few moments. Not a few moments, but a few minutes. You guys like having Todd on here the other day? Maybe he's watching. Hits from 89 to 2016. Different ball game. I don't even know how many years that is. '27. Almost 30 years. Man, if we're gonna blast up the 832s here, just swept the low there. Swept the low of the day. Still held the prior low of the day in the ES. Still had that divergence. I think here. There it is. What's the reaction? See if we can sweep through this most recent swing higher. If it gets defended on that extension, I guess I should adjust the extension here to the new low. Here's that push through. Okay, we're gonna go to All right, I'm getting out here. I think that was about 60 points. See if we go right back to supports again. It's kind of just a sloppy morning. Going nowhere, back and forth here so far. Like I said, two-sided. I mean, it's two-sided. It's two-sided. There's no big targets really. I mean, that was the biggest move all day. Down, we went up. Now we're going down. I got 2 tickets to. Doki. Just staggering my orders here. Had an order at 764, another one I'm gonna put at 747. Gold making a new, not new high of the day, but pushing through its high. Just traded up about 12 points in the last 10 minutes. Still long CL. Boy, oh boy, gold is just something else. So far, not quite a fill on that second ad I had. Or I should say the first ad. Just gonna trade this range. Like I said this morning, I didn't have a strong bias between the high and the low. We really haven't traded up into the upper part of where I wanted us to, so I haven't taken a short yet. Taken a series of different longs, one stop, one to target. That was twice the size of my stop out, and then just a third position here. See what happens with it. In and out, in and out. I mean, if we lose this 47s, then it's going to be hands off. Here we go. Now we should either push up all the way to 24,822s, and gold now up 20 points in 15 minutes on Jolts. If you got a gold coin, man, keep it. I wish I had gold coins. Got a bunch of. So that 47s continues to have buyers step in here so far. We are holding the 38 of the extension short. That would lead us all the way down to 24,670s on a break here. It is almost 10:15. Definitely going to want to pay attention to the halfway back short from yesterday's highs if we get up there as a resistance level. Bring some. This is one of the charts I'm going to be teaching in my upcoming live class here, but positive. See this number 1, 1, 1. That just means go long, basically. Find the long, take it. Let's do it. Let's find the long and take it. 1, 1, 1. Find the long, take it. Do it together now, people. Just duplicated a drawing instead of deleting it. Common mistake in Thinkorswim. All right, we have halfway back, to target, next measured move, to target. We're up through a negative 100. Next move, extension, 8:50 a.m. the high. 50% retracement is a 62.7. And then you also technically have a traditional here below that. So we'll place a limit at 62.7. 111. I'm going to be teaching that in the upcoming boot camp. That will begin on October 13th, Monday. So I know a few people have already signed up. I'm limiting it to 10 spots. So if you're interested, you can DM me, but we're going to be teaching that. It's really easy. 1, 1, 1. Then of course you got to know how to trade. You got to know how to pick long sequences, but okay. Thanks for the information, Iris. I imagine is that the S&P? Wow, it's kind of wild to see those numbers. Wait, is that an up 5% day in 28? 2008. That's wild. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna move my targets up to 22s. Leave my second. Moving stops up here as well. Really shouldn't be coming back. Do something. Oh man, we're getting boring. Kind of doing nothing. We are getting sold into the 38 of the extension, like to the tick in these wicker candles. That needs to crack, but you can see, I'm gonna get rid of this real quick, but like we literally went 38 to the tick, 38 to the tick, so I'm a little cautious about staying long here. I like just don't like the way we've reacted so technically to those shorts. I'm gonna move my target above my stop. We need to squeeze through those highs, just barely above my stop. But yeah, we are getting sold. There is clearly a limit order at that 24,798. So I'd rather not stay long. If we make another sweep at these lows, I'll probably just, man, gold just keeps going, keeps going. Look at that. Ever since 10 a.m. I mean, it's like anytime you get one of those big old lick. I mean, yesterday we got a 60, no, almost 80 point liquidation in gold. And then just as soon as that bottom's made, it's like right back, beach ball underwater, right back at it. Right back at it. Oops. Here we go. Here we go. Come very close to take me out just above my entry so far. But I mean, those are nasty. That's fine if I get taken out for 2 points because those I'd rather take a 2 point winner than eat this as a 30 point stop in a half an hour if that's what happens. But this wicking action I'm seeing here in the Nasdaq is not good for the bulls currently. We would really need to overtake that, or I do think we'll probably be getting down to at least 24,700. We're gonna push through this low here and make our way lower if we don't pop back up, because that's a very technical level with an absolute wick of a touch so far. So I'm still in my long because you never know what's gonna happen, but I've moved my stop to protect myself from a loss at this point in time. And then I just let the market do what the market wants to do because we don't really know what the market's gonna do. As soon as you think you know, well, you're gonna find out you don't. Thanks, Will. Just you. I don't think I think it's awesome. I think Will's trading options on some of these levels, which is, I mean, there's many different ways to trade. It's not always one way or the other. All right, gold finally coming back, man. I don't even know that's such a far move above it. It's like, hmm, 65.5. It's gonna be that GC level. 65.5. Oh, come on. Let's go. Let's go, NASDAQ. Poke it. Do something. Poke it. It's pretty cool that you can use Grok to pull that kind of data now. Everybody must need to sell their stocks for some back to school money. One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you, get you one way. Here we go. There's the push up in the NASDAQ through that level. And I'm going to be targeting basically the open. Another, just about a 60-point trade if I can get it. We need to get through that high. Come on. Come on. Heave. Oh, heave. It's like I feel like wrestling my screen sometimes. Dun, 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 dun. And sellers again at that level. All right. I'm just taking it off here for 30 points. In the Nasdaq, the ES is weak. We've kind of done nothing. Maybe we go higher. My targets was initially another 30 points from where we are. Maybe we hit it, but honestly, I'd rather take a short if we get up there at this point. This just seeing this ES weak and seeing us sold into again at this 24,007 798s, and I'm all right. I guess I'll just maybe the ES needs to trade its 94s. That's that support. If the ES trades its 94s and the Nasdaq's kind of up at these highs, I bet then ES gets bid there. That would be the inverse of what we saw this morning, where the Nasdaq was making new lows and the ES wasn't. So if the ES is making new lows into that support and the Nasdaq isn't at that 94 quarter, and we still kind of have this balanced price action, we're not moving. Enter. All right. And here's that move lower. I'm a little weary of sticking. I mean, Yeah, we're just gonna pass on going long here. We've spent a lot of time going sideways. I'm gonna watch this play out for 25 minutes because we're still sitting on that distribution level. I am glad I took my profits in Nasdaq. We're just kind of right back at where we were. But the key here is what is the market doing? Like we have our support and resistance levels, but we're not getting no targets. No targets. There's no short targets that have been hit. There's no long targets that have been hit. So you just have to adapt to trade the range. And that's all I've done here this morning. You got to be a little more like on the hook of just taking out like both times I've had to drag my target down or protect my stop. So like that first trade, I did get stopped out on the low and then got in, got back in 60 points, got back in, was looking for a little bit of a higher move, moved up my stop. Um, but now we're rotating down and I have much further targets in the Nasdaq. This would be that's like there is a potential support here in the ES. I just don't know if we're going to trust after spending. Now we're past the first hour. I just don't know if I'm going to trust that. I'm going to drop it down, look at that next potential support in the ES. I mean, at 66.78. We'll see. Very well could just hold this level in the ES. This is that divergence. New low in the ES, no new low in the Nasdaq. That's quite a bar. All right, I see what I did. You can see what I did. I did it. Did a thing. We'll see. No, exactly. That's why I'm looking at this divergence. I'm like, that divergence right there is the key for me. Us chopping right into that anticipated level with no new low in the NQ. That's why I just see that and I'm like, we're gonna hold. We're gonna hold it at least temporarily. And now the Nasdaq's probably gonna trade back up. ES is probably gonna get 67.12s. Nasdaq 24.822. Just because this is the type of price action you get when a lot of traders are caught. Like nobody's getting anything. Longs aren't winning, shorts aren't winning. You're getting people chopped out. Think about traders. I mean, we've all been there that are getting chopped up in this action. I've been there, you've been there, we'll be there again. And that's why we're going. So it's like when you see those stops getting chopped or whatever, whether it's like literally us, I mean, look at this action. We swung through, you know, there was a high we swung through at 10:30 in the Nasdaq. We didn't swing through that high in the ES. Then we swung through the low of the day in the ES literally 5 minutes later. We didn't swing through that high low in the Nasdaq. So when you have these indexes, and these are really the only two markets that I can trade where there's visible divergence that means anything. Like if gold's going up and oil's going down, irrelevant. Irrelevant to your trading decision. But ES and NQ, you can kind of see how they're acting, compare them to one another, and make decisions, informed decisions off of that information. And we are right back on highs. NASDAQ winning. NASDAQ winning. Look at that. Would you look at that? Yes, 94 quarter. Who bid it? Who bid it? Anybody bid it? Anybody bid it who? Right to our supports. Anticipated in the trade plan. Anybody bid it who? Almost 10 points here. There you go. 10 points from the 90/40 quarter. One tick in, one tick of heat, 10 points of profit. I got targets in the ES at 67.12s. I think we're going right back to highs now. Oh, that was so clean. I feel so smart. I want to hold it for longer. Man, this honestly this is a great reaction. I'm holding it for longer. I'm moving my targets up. This is gonna get the 25-minute treatment. We're gonna get the 20. You know what the 25-minute treatment is? We're gonna give the 20-minute treatment at least. Oops. We're gonna give her the old good 11 o'clock exit plan. Or if so be 67.19s. I feel good. I knew that I would. I feel nice. Like sugar and spice. So nice. So nice. I you. Boom. There's that 24,822 in the NQ. I mean, just get sniped. Dum, 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 na, 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 dum, dum, na, na. All right, ES targets looking good. Push through. What a trick. What a trick. Didn't fool us. Great morning here so far. Four trades, three for the W. Not that I've locked in my fourth, but we're gonna move my stop above break even at this point because that thing is looking decent. Still holding on with my stop below 604 is actually it's going to lock in about 10 points. And see if we can get this push through the high of the day and a squeeze up to 67.20 area. 67.20 would be the exit on my ES from 66.95s. All right, the old 25-minute treatment here. I'm just going to trail every 5-minute bar now until I get stopped out. So I'm moving my stop just below the 11 o'clock bar in the ES. And then I'm still looking for a 67.20. So we're either going to take out this previous bar or we're going to move up to my target. So just I'm adjusting every 5 minutes. Also just got long oil for the second try. Got stopped out of my first. If I get stopped out again, I'm not touching that thing the rest of the week. All right, I got taken out on my trail there. I think I took about 13 points or so out of the market. Still think we can go higher, but you know, I'm up a decent amount inside what has been a choppy market. We did hit the top of the range, so as we get close to the top of the range, I'm trailing tighter. Okay. I have two positions. For those of you guys in the Discord following the Zoom, you just saw me. I got long gold as we swung down there. I'm gonna move my target up. I'm looking. I do think we could potentially get all the way back to highs today, but I'm gonna look for about 10 points. Move my stop below that low. That was quite the swing, and then CL. I'm moving my stop up, and that's probably gonna be it for me here. Um, I'm not taking any new trades here this morning, so I'm gonna let what I got ride out. Um, and I'm gonna call it a day. It was a great morning. Great morning. NASDAQ stopped, NASDAQ target again, ES target, and now we got two trades on gold and oil, both in the green right now, at least. Also did have a stop in CL, so we'll see if we can get even on that. But another good morning. And I'll catch you guys on the YouTube tomorrow, but I'm gonna shut down this YouTube here. Keep keep open the Zoom, of course, in the Discord, as I am always in the Discord. And I'll talk to you guys there. Take care.